going into this one, it's going to be game one. I'm very impressed with these drafts. I like both of these squads, but Kin, who are you giving the edge to?
I prefer the stats of Paws Gaming, but I'm really hoping Gen.G shows up today with some unorthodox playstyles.
Yes, same. Likewise. I think that that's going to be key. How does Gen.G kind of respond? They know that they have a giant juggernaut to deal with in Paws Gaming. Are they able to just stymie this growth of this team here?
I think, you know what, if I'm on Gen.G, the first person I'm looking at is, let's stop that buy run, right? Or we stop the pay. That is the winning formula that allows them to snowball, because early game Marco doesn't really do much.
Yeah. I mean, he's going to need that space and time just to get going, right, with the farm.
Yeah, for sure. And even though they have a Yaria, until she hits level 4, the extra shield value does not come online.
Yeah, it's not too much to begin with, but you know, that Yaria can be super annoying in lane, has definitely a lot of impact, and it looks like he's going to be more, you know, roaming around. But you were talking about putting pressure onto Snow. It looks like they're going to do that. Chloe and Wawa just hammering it down onto Snow.
He is taking risks only because he has his passive.
Yeah, he has the passive, but he's actually going to go into the brush. He's going to give up first blood, I believe. No, he's looking to turn this. Clue's like, buddy, Wawa, help me out, brother. And Wawa, oh, the flash away. Snow trying to style on him. He tries to dodge this one, and he eventually gives up first blood to Clue.
Of all the people to get it, Clue gets the first blood. This is a great start for the side of Gen.G, but it's not something that is too detrimental to Paws Gaming.
Yeah, not the worst thing in the world. I mean, it is your Clash laners, and yes, Clash lane lives matter, but I think it was a great start for Gen.G, really trying to prioritize it. You were talking about a vulnerable lane, that's it.
Exactly, and this also then makes Myosotis' life a little bit difficult, but Myosotis, as a pay, he is one hero that is great at farming, taking camps. He's very mobile, he's very fast. So Myosotis already hitting level 4 before Rock, so this is a good sign for the side of Paws Gaming.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit tough for, you know, Gen.G to kind of keep on pace. I'm not a huge fan of the Neza jungle in terms of just like how they're able to kind of keep on with this, but it looks like Myosotis leaps away, does get the safety. Gen.G putting the pressure on, and it looks like Gen.G backing off at this point, but in the bottom lane, you know, it looks like Ray all by himself. And if we're going back into this mid lane here, look at Rock continuing to just take whatever, you know, he is your win condition, right? And they're funneling a lot of the farm into him.
Yep, it's very important to kind of funnel farm into your farm laners. I mean, that's why they're called farm laners, right? But this first interaction, if Snow falls again, it's going to be disastrous.
Oh, he's going to get whatever. He pulls him back, but the Frigid Prison, it was a trap in mind, and now Rock has to stay alive. Here's Inua looking to go for this one. Xiao Yang will get on out of this. The Frigid Prison is going to be missed on this one, but Snow at half-life.
That was a beautiful bait by Snow, and look at the space he has bought. Myosotis now, Clue cannot stop him.
Yeah, no chance at this. Myosotis is looking to just take this. And Clue, you said he couldn't, and Clue was like, no, bet.
How do you win against a pay? Oh my goodness, Clue, you're such a good player.
Yeah, such a good player. Being able to snipe that one away and take it away, and that's got to be frustrating for Myosotis because he was like, okay, this is a freebie. I'm going to take this one away and make it difficult for Rock to even get going.
But it's a small win, it's a consolation prize because Rock is still unable to keep pace with this Myosotis pay.
Yeah, but Feng-Ji here backing off with Qinglin attached to him, not on top of him.
Well, kind of inside him, right? He's like providing him that space, the immune system.
That might have been worse, I'm not sure. But still, we're going to be here. Level 4, hitting that mark and having that ult and having that potential for the Verdant Protector. I think he could go even more aggressive, kind of putting a little bit more pressure onto Ray.
It really then comes down to when he hits that first critical item, which is a Spark Force Dagger for this Feng-Jie Marco Polo.
Yeah, Feng-Jie's on point right now. Oh, the leap forward, he finds him, the Unending Sorrow, and he's looking to go in return, the Skyfall on, but now Rock just pushing them away. They're going to back off.
Okay, a decent start, 1-1. It's not the biggest gap between the both teams, but as expected, Paws Gaming going to have a small lead here.
Yeah, small lead, but Wawa waiting patiently, waiting for something to happen. 4 minutes is about to happen. The Tyrant will be spawning. People will be making a beeline towards that bottom area, but they want potentially a bit of a pick-off before they go. Feng-Ji doing a great job on this Marco Polo, has the lead in the farm lane.
Okay, so this is going to be the start of the Tyrant take, but it looks like Gen.G, they want to get the information first. They cannot rush into this situation.
Cannot force it down. Qinglin a little bit on the low side. Verdant Protector, he will connect. And it looks like Miles Otis easily takes the Tyrant. Gen.G not in position to contest.
I'm just curious, on the Gen.G side, right? Like, what moment are they waiting for? Like, where is this turnaround condition going to appear?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think it's more of them just kind of like hold the line more than anything else, not to lose too poorly. Because again, Miles Otis, he will put that pressure on. You're already starting to feel the effects of this. This bottom T1 even almost going down. But Inua has to use the Unending Sorrow. Miles Otis leaping away the Storm Strike in, and Snow finds him out. Here's the Skyfall. They want that return, but Miles Otis dashes over the wall. He gets the safety, and now Rock is in trouble. Snow is looking to go for that one. The Frigid Prison is not going to connect.
That shows you how well Snow knows about what Inua is trying to do, right? He actually saved the flashball, that perfect moment to get the kill as well. And now the map pressure is just insane. Paul, the players are shouting as well. They see an opening. Mid T1 immediately opened up with the T1 at the bottom taken down as well. So Paws Gaming playing the macro game so well.
Yeah, I mean, they took down Inua, and they were like, okay, this is an opening. We have the numbers advantage. We have everybody congregating in mid lane, and we're able to take that mid T1 down very smooth. A huge win for Paws Gaming, and again, why they're so strong.
Yeah, 1v1 though. Wawa as well as Snow. This is a pillow fight, but no stones. This is all feather.
Yeah, all feather. No chance. I mean, it's a better love story than Twilight at the end of the day. Nobody's going to be actually killed, but Rock in the top lane, now he's going to make things happen, and now we have a bit of a tryst with 3 members here. He gets a little bit serious, gets the pull back, and Snow doesn't look like he's going to survive on this one, and Rock will pick it up.
But is it really a win for the side of Gen.G? Look, the T2 at the bottom now being pressured by the side. Oh, Ray!
Ray all by himself, the flash away. He does get the safety, but here's a Skyfall coming in like a thunderbolt, and he goes in. The Fengji tries to stay alive. He's going to be killed, and this is looking bad, but they want revenge. Clue trying to run for his life. Miles Otis gets the pick off, and now Rock trying to fight this one. It's 1 versus 2 technically. Miles Otis, the leap away. Wawa looking to cut off the angle of retreat. Qinglin will be killed, and they find Miles Otis as well, and Gen.G make them pay as they come out with a trade 3-2.
This is why Gen.G is so scary. Look, we have seen Paws Gaming dominate from the Pro League all the way into KWC for their first few games. But Rock is making them look like, hey, this is an even fight.
Yeah, this is definitely an even fight, but what is the numbers advantage in favor? And Gen.G, Rock is in a bad spot, stuck around and found out.
But he did force that the Azure Golem to go into the hands of Feng Jie instead. Miles Otis needs this pretty badly though.
Yeah, he definitely needs that one. It would definitely help, but I mean, look, you've gotten the kill and you've gotten the buff, so I guess there's, you kind of came out on top.
Yeah, I guess so, right? End of the day, look, I think based on the performance here, Gen.G is very reliant on Rock. His Nerta needs to stay alive because he is a true problem to the side of Paws Gaming because number 1, he's so tanky, but he's also burning them with damage over time from his fire-tipped spear.
Yeah, and look, I mean, Gen.G will pick up almost any sort of heroes. They'll kind of play some crazy strats, but at the end of the day, their strategy is the same. Let Rock cook. In this one, he's only, what, 3rd place in terms of the net worth on his own team. He hasn't really had that impact. He needs to just, like, as you were saying earlier, he needs to stay alive and farm.
Okay, even though he is 3rd in terms of farm, but they have a good chance. They have quite a lot of disable on the side of Gen.G, right? They have the stun coming out from Inua. They also have a stun coming out from Ray and Wawa. So this is a situation where it could turn really ugly for Paws Gaming.
Yeah, it could be, assuming that they were able to kind of stack that. But look at how Paws Gaming, they're like, okay, we have this lead. Let's be aggressive. Miles Otis waiting in the wings. Who's going to spot themselves first?
I think Ray is a little bit too far forward. This is one trait of Ray that I'm actually quite scared of.
Yeah, he tends to do this. It's like his old jungle, role play style. Oh, but here's Skyfall. They find Zhao Yang. He's going to look to get blown up, and Wawa came in and destroys him. And now this is Azure Golem under siege. Miles Otis flashes away with that. He uses his smite. He gets stuck on the wall, and it looks like Gen.G can't get any more.
Okay, so Miles Otis did secure that Azure Golem, and at the same time, Feng Jie actually secures a Tyrant for the team. So even though they're kind of losing around the map for certain control, they have taken very significant objectives.
Yeah, actually, Zhao Yang was actually sacrificed for technically that buff as well as the Tyrant. It created a lot of space. Gen.G were looking to make something happen, and they tried to go for that, at least that buff, not able to get it, but Paws and making them pay.
Yep, so I think Gen.G needs to play the map a little bit better because no one on the side of Gen.G is going to be able to match pace with Rock. Look, he has dealt the most amount of damage in this game, mostly by himself, obviously. But because of his global presence, this also opens up space around the map. Gen.G, they can actually push this macro gameplay to its absolute limit.
Yeah, and look, Paws Gaming previously it's been steamrolling. This is not a steamroll. Gen.G definitely have the ability to strike back. They have that a chance to get really a jump on top of Myosotis with that Skyfall.
Yes, if they can take out Myosotis in between fights, I think that's going to be a big marker here. Ray actually catches eye on Myosotis, and for now, as long as Rock is healthy, they get the split push going in. Look at the wave at the bottom, right? Yep. Wawa doing a very good job of supplementing this additional pressure.
I mean, the bottom is being pushed, but look at the top. The top is being pushed as well. Feng-Jie and Qinglin are both there. It looks like they're going to take this one down. I mean, it's space given where space is being taken.
Yeah, but Paws Gaming, they're doing a better job at this point, right? It's a 1,000 goalie going to the side of Paws Gaming, but they do take the T2 at the top.
Yeah, and so back to kind of what we were talking about in the pregame, it's the macro play that you're seeing by Paws Gaming, able to kind of out-macro Gen.G, taking more off the map, being smarter with their movements, and they're being rewarded for it.
Yes, this reward is well worth it. 10-minute mark. They have to steal this away from the side of Paws Gaming, though.
Yeah, the Resplendent Revolver from Feng-Jie. He has to roaming gun away. The Tyrant is going to reset here, but they're looking to go. Snow is in the bottom. They find this one. Wawa in a bad spot. He gets a little bit serious onto Myosotis. He tried to go in. He actually is going to have to just stay alive, but Myosotis back on the side. Clue a little bit on the low. Wawa looking for that pull. Snow and Xiaoyang looking for their target. They find Clue, who dashes over that wall. They get the Storm Strike right under Ray. They're going to continue it on. They're bashing it on. Snow is all fighting 1 versus 3. Myosotis and Rock, and they're trying to kite Rock out. They get the pick off, but Xiaoyang is being traded. Ray has been picked off as well. Make that with Inua, 3 members down, but they finally get Myosotis, and it looks like it's going to be a 4-for-2 trade in favor of Paws.
So both teams had to abandon that Tyrant for now, but in terms of team fight, as long as they're able to kill off Rock and split the team fight, Gen.G can't exactly fight well against Paws Gaming.
Yeah, no real chance, but Feng-Jie will make quick work of this Tyrant here. They're completely isolated, but break this replay down.
Yep, so they actually split the fight here, and the control coming in from Xiaoyang was really what changed that fight, right? The Frigid Prison actually locked a couple of members, allowing Inua and Ray to be taken down from the side of Gen.G. Now, Gen.G, yes, I think Rock did a brilliant job of trying to push the other members away from on the side of Paws Gaming away so that they couldn't get the damage in. But nonetheless, I don't think he has enough farm. He's only level 13. He did have the Blood Rage, but you need more support from the team.
Yeah, I mean, and dying earlier kind of, you know, compounded that mistake, right? He should have way more farm now, and this is at the point where Feng-Jie's hitting that critical mass. He is going to carry this game. He's doing the most damage with 43,000 thus far, and he's only going to do more as this game goes on.
And this is the issue that Gen.G needs to fix, right? In that particular engagement, who is going on Feng-Jie for them side of Gen.G? Nobody.
True.
Right? They still have to deal with Snow, who's on the back lines trying to get the mace slaps in. And in the middle of this, because of the chaos, Xiaoyang as this Princess Paws is able to get the stun in.
Oh, they're going to have to use Unending Sorrow to stay alive, but they don't have any answers to get on top of the Feng-Jie. It's either you choose the Myosotis or the Feng-Jie, which one do you want? But Feng-Jie with that damage, it's being spread throughout, doing so much work, even a little bit of pressure on that bottom T3.
It's just a perfect drop here.
Skyfall, Rock getting pulled away, just dragged out. He's going to go back to his base and say, abort mission. That was not a good one.
Yep. Now, for those of you that don't know, Rock has a ultimate called Skyfall. This one allows him to traverse to any target he wants across the map. But because of the life bar, they don't have enough damage.
Oh, the Unending Sorrow being used by Inua, just being cheeky. He had to actually flash just to stay alive. And they're trying to keep this T3 alive, but it's tough because they can't get onto the minion, and they take that one down. Clue at half-life. This is a potential for Paws and taking out the top T3. And now they're going to focus their attention on this bottom. They don't really have a chance to defend. Gen.G struggling to just keep your base alive.
There is no dive available from Gen.G. This is why they're struggling, right? Rock can go into the heart of Paws Gaming, but he's always going in alone. And look, the rest of the members, maybe Wawa can catch up in pacing with regards to the way that Rock engages, but everyone else can't follow suit, so they're always in a 2v5.
Yeah, and the craziest part about that siege was that they were doing it 4 versus 5. Miles Sotis was actually in the enemy jungle just farming. They were able to just take everything and understood that we don't take a team fight, we keep everybody at arm's reach, and we're still going to loot and pillage everything.
And look, Feng Jie, this Spark Forge Dagger build, a stock standard for all Marco Polo players. Look at the damage he's able to lay onto the side of Gen.G even before the actual fight starts.
Yeah, now Gen.G in a world of hurt. They have to defend the Shadow Vanguard being pushed in the bottom lane. Feng Ji's just been up front being such a menace with his damage. Gen.G have no answers.
Yep, Rock, he's gonna try.
He's gonna try for this one. He actually finds Zhao Yang. That's a great start, but Rock trades his life away. No real chance, and it looks like they've gotten clue. This is a huge window of opportunity for Paws to go in. Wawa tries to get serious, but it looks like Paws Gaming are the ones that are serious as they go in with a Fever Barrage just to flex, and Feng Ji will survive. And Paws Gaming just on a cleanup. They're looking to take down Inua for the triple Miles Sotis, and Paws Gaming will take the ace, and of course, they will take game one.
Simple game, straightforward for the side of Paws Gaming. Gen.G had a decent start, but it's not about how you start, it's how you finish the game, and Paws Gaming were on top of this one.
Yeah, very clean. I mean, look, we thought that Gen.G were going to strike back, and there were moments that were good, but this is, for me, it's more of a draft issue more than anything else.
Agreed.
I didn't really see the impact of the Neza.
I saw it, but I think the follow-up was so difficult, right? Because you need someone who's able to match pace. Maybe get the Liu Bang instead. You know, you can actually heal and continue to dive along with Rock as well. But once again, you don't want to burn all your cards, even though it is a best of 3. So I think Gen.G, they did give a good try. But once again, it's a draft difference here.
Yeah, definitely a draft difference. But you have to have the perfect draft and then the play style to just lock it down. They really couldn't lock it down anyone from Paws Gaming at a certain point. There were moments that you're like, this is 50-50. Gen.G's really striking it to him. But Paws Gaming is like, actually, we're fine. We got Feng Ji. We're surviving. We're going to do the damage and just get all the kills that we need.
Yeah, in the fights, you actually, in rare moments that you see Feng Jie gets taken down. But you know what? Throughout the entire match, Feng Jie is free to roam, free to get just those free shots. And for the Feng Jie Marco Polo, for every shot he gets you, he actually deals a set marker with his passive. Hits you 10 times, you are actually having your armor broken. He's able to do true damage to you.
Yeah, just way too much damage. And that was perfectly what you needed. I mean, like, wow, that gets serious. It was an amazing 3-man stun, but everybody had died. Ray there's no damage. Rock had already been killed as well. So it's like, yes, those moments of just like the initiation, the team fight of when you need to go in, get those kills, they were not really able to do it in Paws Gaming. Look at how they're grouped up and they're just focusing on the right guy.
Exactly. And Xiao Yang, I think they already did this communication to him early, very much early in the game. You're going to fall a lot of times in this game. But what we want you to do is to pull Rock away into our heart. 1v5, he does not survive that.
Yeah, and I mean, Rock being pulled into anybody's heart, I mean, he's in my heart already because I love Rock. But I think that was a tough game to watch for Gen.G. I mean, look, I think that they're going to bounce back, but they had their moments. But I think it comes back to the draft diff.
Oh, for sure. I think they definitely need to kind of work into this next set of progression for game number 2, right? How do we fix this problem? Because based on the gameplay, Paws Gaming do have some gaps. Yeah. They can be taken down.
Yeah. And actually, Gen.G was trying to expose them, right? They had some opportunities, but it was just like Paws Gaming was like, okay, yep, we made a mistake, but we're going to fix it. And they solved it right away.
Instantaneously. Exactly. And that's what's so scary about Paws Gaming.
I want to jump in there because Paws Gaming at the beginning of the game did not have such a clear advantage. Up until like about 8 minutes, it was actually pretty leveled. Gen.G and Paws Gaming, they were like kind of like throwing one to the other. But then it was just after the 10-minute mark that Paws Gaming just completely took control of the game.
Yeah, and that's kind of where Feng Ji just really turned it on, right? He hit his critical moments. He was definitely winning in the lane, and this is why Feng Ji is one of the best players out there, right? The fact that he's able to carry it, even when the rest of the team is doing well, but Feng Ji will just take you over the top.
Okay, so hindsight bias. We talked about, hey, Gen.G, maybe the first thing they want to do is kind of stop Snow, right?
Yep.
But it feels like after watching this game, maybe they should have gone to a Feng Jie instead, because Feng Jie was one of the person that dealt quite a lot of damage, 78.7 thousand worth of hero damage dealt to Gen.G. Also because he was left alone in the fights, nobody was looking for him.
Yeah, I want to just say to everybody that the Byron pick and the focus was actually your idea, not mine. Okay.
Okay.
I just want to be very clear, Kindo.
Okay.
Kin, come on, man. Like we talked about this.
Guys, I'm part of the team. Why are you attacking me?
It's totally fine. You know what? Like the players came in and they made decisions, and those decisions at the end of the day just end up in the result that we just observed. You can see that Paws Gaming is going to take the victory. Gen.G sadly is going to have to revert this if they don't want to be sent back to the lower bracket.
For sure. I think this is really truly a synergy issue, right? Based on the draft, because nobody can catch up with Rock. But if you take a look at the itemization here, the fact that, you know, they understood, it's very clear as you look at the gameplay on the side of Paws Gaming. The win condition they wanted was for Feng Jie, and they kept him extremely safe. Heals coming from Qingling. They also had the redemption as that support item to give him the extra shield. And to be honest, as a Marco, when you take stun, it is very greedy because there's quite a lot of stuns available on Gen.G.
Yeah, and you don't have cleanse to kind of deal with that. Yeah, I mean, he was playing a very high risk, high reward type of build. I love it. And he knew that he was going to be supported by his teammates, which he did. And so that's exactly all you want. It's a team game, and he knew his buddies were there to help him.
Could we agree that Feng Jie had an amazing game?
For sure. He had one of the best games possible. I mean, if you're looking at Marco Polo performance, right? The fact that you're going greedy with the stun, hoping that your team's going to cover you, and the way that he pulled off that game, nobody was able to pay attention to Feng Jie. I think that's the most impressive thing. Sure, when left untouched, Marco is a beast, and that's why he is also going to be MVP.
If we agree, they have to agree, and the most valuable player for this game is going to be Feng Jie and that Marco Polo. 7-1-3 of KDA, that is lovely. One of the things that I loved about his performance is that everyone is thinking about, okay, that most of the resources are going to go to the Pei, and Pei is going to be the one that's going to set the pace. But it was Marco Polo at the end that the one that stood up. I
mean, the biggest thing about Miles Otis's Pei is that it's about putting an impact in, being aggressive, so that it attracts a lot of attention to deal with that. That space created for Feng Jie to really get going, and they understand how they play this one out, because again, Marco Polo needs time and space, and he was given all of that.
Exactly, and you know what? We're human. We have one pair of eyes, right? So we're looking at one target. Maybe if you have the skill set, you can look at another target. But at the same time, you know, Gen.G tried to focus on the Xiaoyang. There's 3 different people to look at, and you know, if you're not all focused on one target, you kind of get messed up. That there's a split in your attack and your catch, and you know, Paws Gaming really took advantage of that chaos.
Yeah, I think the biggest mistake by Gen.G, obviously you're talking about the Byron, that mistake or whatever, but it doesn't really matter about the hero, it's about the player. It's you know, find Feng Jie. Where is he across the map? Always ensure that you're out farming him or making his life difficult. He is definitely the win condition of this team. You gotta stymie his growth.
I love the Yarya pick with that Marco Polo as well, right? Because of the Yarya just being with Marco Polo all the time, that allowed Marco Polo just to completely take control of the lane, take control of the resources, and after his snowball, he was just too big for Gen.G to control.
Exactly, and he's already quite difficult to kill because he has skills like his second skill, the roaming gun. He's actually able to move a short distance away, so he's able to reposition. So besides having to deal with his mobility, now you add on that Verdun Protector from Yarya, her ultimate, where she gives him the extra shield, and he also has stun, and it suddenly becomes like mission impossible. You cannot kill this man.
Yeah, I'm actually, like, I want to kind of be challenged later. When we play our ranked games, I want our farm laner to be Marco Polo. I'm going to be Yarya. I'm just going to be Verdun Protector. And I'm just going to be AFK.
I'm going to talk to Blam about that, man. I'm telling you, Blam is going to have to be in there because I don't think that I can take the farm, eh?
I can do a Marco Polo.
Yes.
My win rate is higher than 25%.
Yeah, it's actually improved.
I need to go and see your stats, man. Like, your win rate on every single hero is just so high.
Yes, high it is. And that's what we want from Paws Gaming at this point. One step higher as they look to close this series against Gen.G.
Just very clean, right? I think that this is something that we've learned to come to expect from Paws Gaming and just being able to close it out. Because even when Gen.G was striking back, especially in that tumultuous early game, it was like 2-2 in terms of kills. But Paws Gaming were like, hey, don't panic. We're still good. This is our game. We understand how to close this game out.
Okay, not to say that Gen.G are so much lower than Paws Gaming. That's not the case. Right now, for Gen.G, based on the performance, I think you can understand that they have a decent understanding of this game. Just the draft didn't go well for them. So this BP is super important. If they can get a good BP out of this second game, they could potentially tie up this series.
Yeah, and look, it wasn't like a complete stomp. Gen.G had avenues of attack. They had opportunities to get back in this game. But unfortunately, just Paws Gaming just too strong in the end. It was closer than the scoreline like showed. But I think that this is still an opportunity for Gen.G to strike back in game 2.
I think they just hit their timing is much faster. Right? The winning condition coming out from Paws Gaming was fulfilled much earlier compared to what Gen.G wanted to do. They wanted to give more time for the DRNG for Ray, right? But of course, the way that Paws Gaming plays, they don't just stop you from growing. They start growing monstrously fast in that early game.
They take away the resources and they keep them for themselves, right?
Exactly. They're hoarding all the gold and EXP.
Yeah, taking everything, right? But look, Gen.G, at the end of the day, they need to stick to their tried and true, which is get rock farm. You were talking about how Feng-Ji was largely off the map. He was quiet in the early game, but then he was hit that critical mass and just blew everyone up. They need to do the same strategy with Rock. He's protect the president. He is the guy. He should not be playing Neza or these sort of initiator types. He needs to be taking the farm lane or some sort of hero that can like an assassin style that can just take over the game.
Exactly. Maybe just ramp up the pace even more, right? Because they did manage to keep pace with Paws Gaming.
Yeah.
And if second game they pick a draft that is unable to keep pace with Paws Gaming, I fear for their lives because Myosotis is one of the fastest junglers in KWC.
Look, it's not going to be an easy task. If I said it was, easy, any team could have done it. And there's a reason why Paws Gaming are the Titans that they are, is because they're so good. The players understand how to play it. They know exactly what they need to do. They are a very well-coached team, and they're starting to gel well with one another.
Exactly. As the days go by, right, every single team is improving. They're actually watching and learning from all the other series as well, similar to you guys watching at home with us. This is the time. Pay attention to Paws Gaming. I want to see what kind of draft they're going to start with.
Yeah, and I mean, look, I want to see how Gen.G bounce back. I don't know if this is the right time to be kind of throwing something crazy out. I don't think, nothing is really risky, but you might want to try something, especially at this moment. I mean, technically, you're not out of the tournament. Obviously, this GSL format makes things a little bit more risky because nobody wants to be in the lower bracket and you want to win one of your games. But this could be an opportunity. Paws Gaming is not going away.
I agree. You know what? Maybe Gen.G should try out Clue's favorite hero, the Zhang Fei. And also, one of the most spectacular performances from Inua in the Pro Leagues was his Garemo. Of which we have seen in the previous series what a good Garemo can do.
Yeah, actually, that's been the biggest thing from Gen.G. It's been mainly the rock show, and that's usually their MO. But Inua had really been stepping up. We'd seen him, doing very well in the KME as well, with the Mai, the Yixing, Lady Zhun. There was definitely heroes that he's very good with. They haven't let him kind of hit that mark yet. I think that largely he's been kind of, hidden away.
It's a bait. This is a bait. They're trying to get Gen.G Esports to pick up the early, and maybe they'll secure that Lady Sun Ming combination. Similar style to that Yaria and Marco Polo combination. And that is one of the most deadly combinations that Paws Gaming has shown us since the start of their team.
Yeah, I love that combination. I'm a Ming player myself. I'm always just looking for my Lady Sun.
And there we go. Gen.G, they take it. So in a way, they kind of take the bait. Do they respond with the Ming and Lady Sun? Arlie is great, right? And the probable buddy that they're going to give this Arlie is either the Zhang Fei or the Diadea, both of which give her shields or heals depending on who you pick.
Yeah, but also the Arlie pick kind of showcases the fact that Rock will be shifting back into the farm lane. I tend to find that Ray doesn't really play as mechanical of heroes, and so they're going to do a little bit of a shift. Basically, they're saying that Ray will be picking more of a tanky jungler, which is more of his playstyle.
But there's no Ogren. Ray does well with the Ogren, and this time it is not allowed from the side of Paws Gaming. And likewise, they actually pick up the Mai, Shiranui, and Dun. As we know, right, the stats for Mai so far in KWC, not the best, but we're talking about Xiaoyang here.
Yeah, he has that potential, right? He's, look, I think the tank meta has largely passed. It's definitely not as much prevalent as it used to be, especially last year in Championship and all of that. And things have kind of changed a bit where things are more high-flying, definitely assassin-style heroes like the Fade, right? So it's a bit of a mix-up, but I still feel like Paws Gaming, if you've got a strategy in mind and you're that tanky, beefy guy up front, you're protecting the damage dealers, which it looks like they're trying to do in this draft here.
Yes. Now, one of the weaknesses on the side of Paws Gaming's draft for Mai is the fact that if you're tanky heroes, it's going to be very difficult to burst heroes down on Gen.G's side. But for now, there isn't much option. I don't think you want to pick a Lianpo into the lineup of Gen.G Esports. Maybe as a jungler, you want to consider the Menki, provide that room so that both the Arlie and Fatih can really just go ham and go crazy with the skill shots and basic attacks.
So for me, if they go with the Menki, like I understand it, but I kind of feel like you're really lacking in the damage department, right? I think that you need to kind of help support. Fatigue can be that frontliner as well. He's not the most beefy of frontliners, but you probably need to add some damage to this lineup.
My main concern here for Gen.G Esports is the fact that this is a very late composition, right? You need a lot of gold for Fadi, you need a lot of gold for RD as well, which means you need a lot of time. But for Paws, right off the bat, level 2 for Mai, she's already a danger.
Yeah, they might struggle with this. And again, it really comes back to Xiaoyang, his rotations. It all, like we were talking about earlier about the fact that Mai has a 20% win rate in the KWC, hasn't been great, but we just haven't seen the impact because, again, those rotations haven't been on point.
Exactly. I think most of the times they don't actually get that space right at the top, which kind of impacts that rotation speed, right? So Paws Gaming, they already have the jungler that's going to be coming in the form of Dun. For those of you that are new, Dun is one of those heroes you can definitely pick up as an introduction to jungling or even in the clash lane, right? He's one of the most tanky heroes in the game.
Yeah, well, tanky, he's got a stun, he has the grappling hook, which gets him to safety. I mean, he has pretty much everything you want, plus he's incredibly good looking.
Yes. To the stats. Good looking, I don't know.
Okay, all right. But it looks like Secure, this is going to be a nice little 1-2 combination with the Dune. Same idea, you have your Wind Slash from Dune, which is like this AoE slam dunk, and then you have Secure with the Mulberry Power. Literally, I mean, obviously different skills, but they're pretty much the same in terms of just how they work.
Yeah, so Secure, the king of the brushes, will be able to reposition himself or herself into the brushes across the gourd, right? At the same time, he can also summon the fields and relocate there, and the fields will actually damage you or heal your teammates depending on who's inside.
So Paws Gaming, I mean, look, these stuns are great and all, but they're kind of like telegraphed, and yes, they are AoE, but they can be dodged, they can be avoided, and it looks like Gen.G finishing out their draft, Gan and Mo in the Flowborn tank.
I like this. So Gan and Mo, like we said, is one of Inua's specials, right? If they can actually get the lockdown. And this is a soft combination that you can explore in your ranked games as well. Dia and Gan and Mo. So Dia's second skill, like we say, that bit of farewell, the latch. She will actually stop you in your tracks, which is a perfect synergy with Gan and Mo to get those blades in.
Yeah, I mean, potential instigate. We just saw the power of the Gan and Mo in the earlier series, right? With Tatsuri, the potential for the damage and just the blow up is incredible. But let's talk a little bit about the Flowborn. This is a newer hero on the Gorge. This is the tank variant. Walk me through a little bit about this hero.
So the tank variant actually has a myriad of skills as well. Actually goes into a triple jump, allowing to get very good stunts onto the opponent team on the side of Paws Gaming. This is one of his strengths, right? The ability to actually relocate himself or reposition himself with the slams on the floors. But the more important thing is to be able to tank up for the team.
Yeah, definitely. And just staying alive and keeping everyone alive, because Ray is going to do, okay, it looks like Ray is on the Arlie. It's going to be interesting. They're going to let him play on this one. But look, Feng-Shi on the Shoyu, they last picked it for Paws Gaming. Walk me through this last pick in.
I am very concerned for this because it's a great pick. Now, Inua, yes, he has great burst, but very squishy as well. And you can be sure Feng-Jie will be looking for that instant snipe onto Inua. At the same time, late game insurance, very few people can actually win the damage output against Feng-Jie's Soyue.
Yeah, that's going to be a problem. And Xiaoyang looking to go in front. Wow, with a flash on out. He's gets a little bit low. He's going to give up first for blood. Qingling finds him out. Clue a little bit low, but they've gotten what they wanted, which is that kill.
Very early game, right? Qingling on this Secure.
Xiaoyang, he gets gone on. He has to actually flash away. He throws out the Kachusen, almost sniping out Clue, but he does get back to safety. Xiaoyang with an already impressive early game.
Which is why I said game one, there was comms that, hey, you're not going to have a good game. We are going to use you as bait. And right now, Feng-Jie going one-on-one against Ray, though.
Ooh, Ray getting the better of him, so to speak. But Feng-Jie under the tower, he will be fine. But again, it's all about that pressure. The presence of Xiaoyang, the flash away from Feng-Jie, saw that Ray was looking to go.
Yeah, Feng-Jie doesn't know that the rotation was coming in from the side of Inua here, but he should be able to go in against Ray. Can he get the snipe?
He's trying to load it up. He didn't actually fire the shot, potentially going in for the next one. But look at how Ray is going back and forth. They get the farewell onto him, but Feng-Jie's down for the count. Ray finds him.
Perfect movement here, but here comes the rest of the team.
Oh, the Mulberry Power just going to be a little off the mark. The wind slash as well. And I guess, you know, it's okay when both of them miss like that.
Exactly. And right now, it's really about the resource protection, right? Because early game, they actually have a good advantage on the side of Paws Gaming, right? If you get slammed on by
They're looking to go.
Tingling,
Wawa, the flash forward. Snow finds him out, finds Wawa, gets the kill.
Gen.G, I feel like taking too many risks here.
Too many risks, but they're trying to force the issue, right? They don't want to play defensive. You kind of saw what happened in the last game because they were doing the same play style.
Okay, agree. I think you definitely want to put pressure onto your opponents, right? Don't give them that full confidence, because when a team like Paws Gaming is confident, they play extremely well. Now, let's take a look at Xiaoyang. He's going to assist that movement into the mid lane, get the clear Myosotis, and jump out as well.
Yeah, Rock not really scared, just eating the wind slashes and just kind of going in. Again, he is your win condition, funneling a lot of that farm. Is that a mistake, though? Do you want Inuo to get that farm, or do you want Rock?
I think Rock needs to get the farm. He needs to be tanky enough for the team to survive. And then you can kind of use that aggression or defensive aggression. Hang on.
Okay, looks like they're going to go in. Qinglin backing off on this one. Clue and Qinglin, these guys are going to be skirmishing quite a bit. Ray putting a little bit of pressure on, having a much better game than he did in the last one.
Yeah, Clue now getting a little bit. Oh, Wawa.
Oh, they find Wawa. The flash back. He does get to safety. And they were potentially looking to go. But again, this is the Mai, the power of the Mai.
You have the rotation speed and the burst damage. And so far, Xiaoyang has not taken a fall, I believe. So this is a tough situation to be in for Gen.G.
Yeah, and looks like they want to go for the steal here. The spike tail will be picked up. Ray is on the back side of this one. But Rock going in. Myosotis just again, wind slashing, taking whatever the farm he can get.
I think the synergy is a little bit difficult here. This Rock and Inuo combination, it's really hard for Inuo to aim.
Yeah, it's not going to be the easiest, right? Especially with that knockback. But Ray, look, he needs to do a much better job. Put the pressure on to Feng-Ji. Make him play your game and make it go. But here's the 4-minute mark. Xiaoyang has to dash away. And this could be a potential opening for Gen.G to take a tyrant here.
Yep, they actually push him away, which is great. But there is heal values coming out from Qingling. And look, oh no, please do not get the steal like that. Rock does secure it. So this is a great start for the side of Gen.G.
Great start at this point. I mean, the kills say otherwise, but it's all about the big neutral items as well as getting that your gold going, right? It's about the farm at this point, and Rock taking that one is really going to help out this team.
Yep, and right now, Wawa actually suffering quite a bit against Snow in the Clash lane. And the freezing and the neutral objectives like the Space Sprite all going into the hands of Snow.
Yeah, taking everything right now. And Paws Gaming, this is why they're strong. They understand how to play the macro game, extracting whatever they can off the map, being aggressive as well. But I think Gen.G, oh, here's the flash forward. They're going to look to go for Feng-Ji. And you were talking about the strategy of just making his life a little bit more difficult. It seems like they're going to put the pressure on.
Yeah, but you're not putting pressure on the Xiaoyang, and here comes the flank.
Yes, Snow looking to go for this one. He's been thwarted in that sense. Rock and Ray dodging this one. They're going to take the bottom T1. The Mulberry Power does actually connect, but they're looking to go. Xiaoyang actually flashes. He gets knocked around, and Rock finds him and makes him pay.
There's an opening that they have searched for the past 5 minutes, a beautiful ending. So Gen.G, they recover some of the farm. It's pretty much even Stevens at this point.
Even Steven, and it looks like they're going to, Wawa will be there. They've made the rotation. They've kind of, you know, just gotten what they've wanted, which is that bottom T1. Now Feng-Ji, less space to farm freely.
Okay, but look, end of the day, Feng-Ji on this Soya, he's a late game hero. Having a bad start isn't that detrimental because they expect this game to go for at least, what, 15, 16 minutes if the game doesn't go well.
Yeah, but I mean, look, like, you're still, like, up against a Ray, which is Ray Arlie, and it's not the worst thing in the world to have an Arlie in the late game, right?
That's true, that's true. I mean, he could potentially jump at the Feng-Ji, burst him up. But then at the same time, you have to pay attention to your own backlines because there's healing factors coming up from Qingling too.
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunities. I mean, the sustain, and I like the secure pick because of that. It really adds quite a bit to what Paws wants to do. I mean, the Wind Slash, Mulberry Power, that combination could just be team fight winning.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how Inuo will perform this game because I think if there's anyone that's going to change this game for the side of Gen.G, it has to come in the form of either Inuo or Wawa. They are the two that will change the fights even before it starts.
Yeah, And I mean, he's doing a great job in terms of the laning phase. Zhao Yang is actually 500 gold behind Inua, but you know, Zhao Yang's presence, he's been moving, he's been trying to gank on the different outside lanes, hasn't been always been successful, but he's definitely made that presence felt.
Yeah, look, Inua, looking on the Myosotis, he will not be able to melt Myosotis down until the next, 10-minute mark or maybe 15.
Yeah, Rock decides to get the leap in. The Wind Slash, Myosotis, both trading blow for blow, but the Unruly Blade keeping him alive. They will be backing off. Paws Gaming understanding, hey, this is not going to be an easy game. They're actually just really neck and neck with Gen.G.
He's going to die. He's going to die. Wawa now calling a 1v2. The TP was great, but he still gives away the T1 on the bottom.
Yeah, Wawa just gets back to safety. Ray will take the top T1, but the bottom T1 has been traded away by Feng Shi. Space for space, tower for tower.
Yep, a lot of potential for both teams now, but the defense comes through for Paws on the top side. But Wawa can't deal with the 2v1.
Yeah, it doesn't. He's not able to deal with it. And look, Feng Shi just munching on those towers in the bottom lane and getting away without any sort of repercussions for that. That is not great if you're a Gen.G fan.
Yes, absolutely no punishment. And they get out scot-free. So this is a big concern, because if you take a look at the gold, even though he died once, Feng Jie is at 5,500 gold. He's about 500 gold ahead of Ray.
Yeah, I mean, look, he was not, actually, he was a little bit behind. Feng Shi was not having the greatest of times, but then you give him space. This is one of those things where it's like, hey, if the pressure's going to be on, we're going to go on top of him. We're going to ensure that he has a bad game, and it seems like they took the foot off the gas.
Yeah, and you can't fight into a lineup that has Qingling here, already putting the Mulberry Fuse and Mulberry Power to good use. He has not really missed any of the strikes he's been trying. Already it's a Radiance as well. So it's a difficult fight for Gen.G if they're caught unawares.
Yeah, but they need to catch somebody out. They need to ensure that they get some sort of kill at this point, because right now they're losing the macro game. Paws Gaming just doing what they can, and there's so much pressure in that bottom lane that they're kind of able to exert their pressure elsewhere.
Yeah, the only thing that's silver lining for now is that Inua has not been caught. I can assure you, if Paws Gaming get their hands onto Inua bursting down, there is very little chance of a comeback for the side of Gen.G.
Yeah, Inua has not died a single time here, and it looks like Paws Gaming picking up the Tyrants as well. So a little bit more gold in the pockets of Paws Gaming. They will put the pressure on. Gen.G need to respond. They need to strike back. They need to do something here.
Yep, they need to. They're trying to call for that middle catch. Rock, is this the place you want to be?
Oh, he tries to go all in. He goes under the tower. Myosotis is looking to go for this one, but with that Mulberry Power onto Rock, he limps away. Clue is very low as well, but here come the reinforcements. They have the Wind Slash onto Wawa, who went in, tried to get it, does trade his life away with Zhao Yang. It's a 1-for-1, and that's going to be it.
Okay, so Wawa for Xiao Yang, I think this is a decent trade, because at the end of the day, take a look at that. They actually burnt out the Pure Sky from Wawa, right? So even though he took that damage reduction for his itemization, it did not help him survive. So there is a lot of damage potential from Paws, and this is due to Feng Jie. He's already at 6.8, already so close towards that Daybreaker.
Yeah, look, Feng Shi is just an absolute beast, and Rock not in a great spot. He makes him pay. He was just trying to push them away, and Paws Gaming is like, you're coming at me?
This was the worst time to take a fight for Gen.G, but they had to, because they couldn't allow this for free. But because of the mistake, this 10-minute Shadow Tyrant will go into the hands of Paws Gaming.
I don't think that you make that sort of play. Rock, I mean, I know he was just trying to clear the wave, but dying there was absolutely monumental. Shadow Tyrant, the first one of the game, going the way of Paws Gaming, and you're giving it up for free. Disaster there.
Yeah, not ideal for the side of Gen.G. Gen.G fans now, I think it's a little bit stressful. But for Paws, let's take a look at the goal difference here. Majority of the goal difference actually between Myosotis and Rock, which is a huge concern, because Rock needs to be the tank for the team. And so far, he has not been tanking too much.
Yeah, he's been falling behind. I mean, he's about 1.3k. Dying that one time was actually pretty huge for them. But now Gen.G, like, if you're behind, you got to force the issue a bit. You got to make a play. And it looks like it's putting more pressure on Gen.G to do something. But they're not able to find anything because Paws have great vision and their positioning game is on point.
Oh no, they're wrapping around. They know that they're here. Paws Gaming. This could be a big win for them. All they have to do is get some important kills on the Inua or Ray.
Yeah, but they just slow siege. I mean, Myosotis Qingling on the sides. If you want to go for them, they have that potential jump in with that stun. Gen.G throwing everything in this defense.
Yeah, but they can't catch it. You can see Inua is trying his best to catch his hands on the Feng Jie, but it's not working out because Soye is one of the longest range marksmen in the game as well.
Yeah, longest best range. And again, his positioning is on point if they want to go. But Snow gets a two-man stun, finds Ray, catches him out. They get a double kill going the way of Zhao Yang.
Yeah, and instantly they make the pressure work for themselves. 2 turrets taken, 3 in fact, as they open up the T3s for the taking on the side of Gen.G's base.
Oh, like it's the noose that's slowly tightening. They're gonna find Rock. They're gonna get the wind slash. Rock is tanky, but not enough. Fengchi with that damage. And Paws Gaming, how they were moving across the map, it was very slow. It was almost like, you know, are they really going in for these things? And they slowly tighten that noose, and Gen.G left caught breathing.
Okay, so 2 seconds before Ray comes out, but the damage has been done. Structural damage completed from the side of Paws Gaming. They have taken the T3s on the top and the middle. Now all they have to do is to back off and secure the Shadow Overlord, of which Feng Jie is already starting.
Yeah, starting it up. I mean, they're putting in pressure in every single lane on their way out as well, but break this fight down.
It really was just capping them in. A beautiful flash get series from the side of Snow, catching the 2 most important members, the support as well as the farm laner Ray taking a fall there was why it was so hard to defend for the side of Gen.G.
Yeah, just almost impossible at this stage. I mean, Paws Gaming in the driver's seat, about to close this one out. The Shadow Vanguard making an appearance in the bottom lane. They will be continuing to push and put the pressure on. Paws Gaming doing everything well.
Yep. Well, one of the only things that has to work in favor is Clue needs to get his ultimate down.
Oh, the wind slash not going to connect. Rock does get back to safety. He needs to stay alive. Vanguard being pushed in the top lane, something to take note of. The bottom T3 is what Paws Gaming wants, though. With this Shadow Vanguard, it's going to be tough. Miles Otis misses the wind slash. Here we go. Rock looking to go all in. He wants to go for Fengchi, but he pays for his sins. Fengchi, he's going to get the kill onto Rock, and now they're going to take the bottom T3.
Yep, this is the beginning of the end for the side of Paws Gaming. This could be huge. They don't have any tank. Rock is down. They're going in. They're going to slam down as well.
Yeah, they get the 2-man stun on this one. They've already gotten raid. It looks like Paws Gaming have gotten this game. It's a matter of time. Wawa's down. They get the crystal, and Paws Gaming take game 2 and the series.
This is a big win for the side of Paws Gaming and a monumental start to their series as well.
Yeah, okay, so great game there. I mean, look, Gen.G was trying to bounce back. They were trying to do whatever they could, but Paws Gaming just too strong, too powerful. What a great series by them, and they are confident as ever.
Okay, so of course, great news for the side of Paws Gaming, but it's not all bad news for Gen.G. They still have another chance going into the